If you're a mid-level to C-suite leader who wants to own your growth and figure out your next small, brave move to achieve your leadership goals, you are in the right place. Welcome to the Small Brave Moves podcast, a weekly deep dive on how to be braver in leadership and in life for exceptional results. I'm your host, Nicole Bianchi, best-selling author, certified master executive coach, NSA certified speaking professional, chief bravery officer, and tough talk expert. If you're ready to become a better, braver, and more authentic leader, let's dive in. Hello to my friends and brave leaders and people in my circle. How are you doing today? I'm so excited to be bringing you another episode of the Small Brave Moves podcast. In today's episode, we'll be discussing why leaders need to lean on their circle. William Faulkner once said, "You cannot swim for new horizons until you have the courage to lose sight of the shore." This quote beautifully captures the essence of bravery and the importance of leaning on others. Bravery is not something you have to face alone. It's often contagious, drawing strength from friends, families, and colleagues. To lean in, you must lean on. A swim buddy is a perfect example for this. In swimming, especially for children, the buddy system ensures safety. Similarly, in leadership, having a swim buddy, a close friend, a colleague, maybe a spouse or a sibling, provides support, accountability, and honest feedback. They're the ones who will tell you the truth and hold you accountable during the tough times. They are the ones that are unselfishly fired up for you when things are going so well, and they're there to catch you when you might be leaning into a slip, trip, or a fall like we talked about on the previous episode. I remember a transformation project I worked on in a past position at ConAgra Frozen Foods, where I was tasked with turning around mediocre performance across our supply chain. We needed to shift from a culture of blame and high turnover to one of collaboration success. And during this time, I often leaned on my swim buddies for support and guidance. It was a new role and there was a lot of work to be done. And one of those swim buddies was Dean Hollis, the president of Frozen Foods. We shared a memorable conversation on a corporate jet where he emphasized the importance of perseverance, referencing a scene from Finding Nemo, where Dory is singing, "Just keep swimming, just keep swimming. What do? We swim, we swim." And that mantra actually playing over and over really helped me during the messy middle, the tough times, navigating the transformational change and challenges that we were going after. And it reminded me when I would sing it in my head to keep moving forward despite the obstacles, to take everything on just one small brave move at a time, and to lean into my circle and to just keep swimming. I love that memory with Dean. That was such a fun moment. Your circle of swim buddies should be small and intentional. My daughter Mo experienced this firsthand while transitioning from high school to college. She struggled to maintain some old friendships and realized she needed a more focused, supportive circle. She created her A team, she called it, and it was consisting of 6 close friends she could rely on and support deeply. This small, intentional circle allowed her to build stronger, deeper, more fulfilling relationships. And that was the group of people, the circle, the A team, that were unselfishly fired up for her during the amazing times, during her wins, and they're picking her up when things weren't going as well as she wanted them to. As leaders, we should also curate our circles, surrounding ourselves with people who elevate and challenge us. Tony Robbins says, "Proximity is power. Always remember that who you spend the most time with is who you eventually become." And this means being intentional about the people you allow into your inner circle. A key part of leaning on your circle is being willing to ask for help and support. So the second of the 5 tough talks, the ask, is the most challenging for so many of us. Asking for help, asking for permission, asking for acknowledgement. And I remember a time when I was diagnosed with melanoma, and my immediate action was fear and isolation. I was so scared, and I was going to have to go through a surgery and a series of treatments. However, my family and friends and colleagues showed up for me in ways I couldn't even expect. My bravest move was actually opening the door and letting them in, allowing myself to be vulnerable, supported, and taken care of. Daniel Coyle, in his book, The Culture Code, explains that vulnerability precedes trust. And by leaping into the unknown alongside others, we create a solid foundation of trust. And this is essential for building that strong, supportive circle. So what should you look for in a swim buddy? Well, here's some questions to help guide you. I want you to think about, what attributes do you want in a swim buddy or even in your circle? What characteristics make them a good swim buddy? Who in my life right now might I consider a swim buddy informally? Is there anyone in my current circle that I also need to let go of? These questions can be tough, but they're crucial for gaining clarity and taking action. By being intentional about your circle, you actually build a network that supports your growth and bravery. To maintain a strong circle, I want you to develop habits that foster that deep connection and support. That can be done through intentional check-ins with your swim buddies. Practice even saying, here's what I need from you right now. What do you need from me right now? This open communication strengthens your relationships and ensures mutual support. I also like to ask the question, is there anything that you're seeing that I'm not seeing? That invites feedback in. Brave leaders know the value of this circle. They invest in their relationships, understanding that the support that they receive is priceless. And by leaning on your circle, you can face challenges with greater strength and resilience. I hope this episode inspires you to think about, 1, who is in your circle? 2, how are you leaning on them and building those strong, supportive relationships? And 3, is there anybody that you need to let go of? Not everybody was meant or intended to go along with us on every stage of the journey, and that's okay. Doesn't mean that they haven't left their thumbprint in a powerful way. If you've enjoyed today's episode, please, I would love a review, maybe subscribe, share with a friend, get it out to your inner circle, and use this as a point of a powerful conversation for you to have together, to answer the questions and to think about, especially in 2025, what can we be doing even stronger? So until next time, I want you to keep making those small, brave moves. And remember, you don't have to go at it alone. We are all better, braver, and more authentic leaders when we lean on our circles. Thank you for joining me for this episode of the Small Brave Moves podcast. If you're wanting to take this work even deeper, I'm here to help. From engaging in inspirational keynote speeches to transformational coaching and workshops for leaders and teams, page-turning books, online courses, and enlightening leadership development retreats. There are so many ways that we can work together to take your leadership to the next level. For more information, check out the show notes, and let's do this together, one small brave move at a time. See you next week.